All right, let's talk about investing. If you've ever felt like it's this super complicated thing that's only for Wall Street wizards, this is for you. We're going to break it all down step by step and demystify the core ideas you need to get started on building your future. So let's dive in.
You know, it's kind of funny, isn't it? On one hand, you can start investing with an app on your phone in like 5 minutes. But on the other hand, there's just so much noise out there. Crypto this, meme stock that, a million different funds. It's so easy to get hit with analysis paralysis, where you overthink everything and just end up doing nothing. Our whole goal here is to cut right through all that noise.
And here's our game plan. First, we'll cover why you should invest in the first place. Then, we're going to decode all that confusing jargon. After that, we'll get into where to actually put your money, a really simple strategy that works, and finally, how to sidestep those common traps that get a lot of people.
So, let's kick things off with the most basic question of all. I mean, if you're already tucking money away in a savings account, why bother with all this investing stuff? What's the point?
It really boils down to two totally different goals. Think of saving as defense. It's about keeping your money safe and sound for things you need soon, like an emergency fund or a down payment on a house. It's all about low risk. Investing, on the other hand, is offense. It's about putting your money to work so it can grow into a lot more money over the long haul. And yeah, that means taking on a bit more risk, but for way bigger potential rewards.
So what's the engine that drives all that growth? It's this one magical concept, compound interest. The best way to think about it is like a snowball rolling downhill. It starts small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and bigger and moving faster and faster. Your money earns interest, and then that interest starts earning its own interest. It's a chain reaction, and over time, it's unbelievably powerful.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Take a look at Jill. She only invests for 10 years, starting when she's 25. Now look at Jack. He starts later and invests for 30 years. That's 3 times longer. But because Jill's money had more time to do its compounding magic, she ends up with way more money. It's incredible. It just proves that the single most valuable asset you have as an investor is time.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is what the most successful investor in history is talking about. His legendary wealth wasn't just built by picking the right stocks. It was built by letting that snowball roll for decade after decade after decade.
Okay, let's move on and tackle that investment alphabet soup. I get it. Hearing about stocks, bonds, and funds can feel like you're trying to learn a whole new language. But I promise you, the basics are actually pretty simple once you break them down.
First up, a stock. When you buy a stock, you're not just buying a digital ticker symbol. You are literally buying a tiny little piece of a real business, a slice of Apple, or a sliver of Tesla. You become a part owner, plain and simple.
A bond is different. A bond is basically just an IOU. You're lending money to a big company or even the government, and in return, they promise to pay you back your original loan plus interest payments along the way. In general, they're considered a lot less risky than stocks.
So you might be thinking, okay, do I have to go out and pick hundreds of individual stocks and bonds? And the answer is nope. Thank goodness. That's where index funds come in. Think of it as an investment basket. Instead of you trying to pick the winners, an index fund just automatically buys all the stocks in a big market index, like the 500 biggest companies in the US. You get instant diversification and the costs are super, super low. For most people, this is the way to go.
Okay, so we know what we can buy. But the next piece of the puzzle is where to put those investments. This is a step that so many beginners miss, and it is absolutely crucial.
I love this quote because it frames it just right. You have to pick the right home for your money. You can think of these as different buckets, and each bucket has different rules and, more importantly, huge tax advantages that can save you a fortune over your lifetime.
So here are the big 3 buckets you're going to run into. The 401k is the one you get through your job, and if your employer offers a match, that is literally free money. You have to take it. A Roth IRA is an account you open on your own, and the magic here is that all of your money can be taken out completely tax-free in retirement. It's amazing. And finally, a brokerage account is just your general all-purpose account that you can use for any goal.
All right, we've covered the why, the what, and the where. Now let's tie it all together with a simple winning strategy that has truly stood the test of time.
You've heard this a million times, right? And it's a cliche for a reason, because it is the absolute foundation of smart investing. It's called diversification. By spreading your money around, you lower your risk. Simple as that. If one part of your portfolio is having a bad year, the other parts can help pick up the slack.
And this is what that diversification looks like in the real world. It's just about finding the right mix of stocks and bonds for you.
If you're young and have decades to invest, you can probably be more aggressive with more stocks for more growth. But if you're getting closer to retirement, you might want a more conservative mix with more bonds to protect what you've built. There's no one right answer. It's all about you.
And right here, this might be the real secret weapon of it all. Seriously, don't worry about trying to find the perfect time to invest or saving up a giant pile of cash to start. What really truly moves the needle is consistency. Setting up small, automatic contributions every week or every month, no matter what. That habit is way more powerful than trying to be a genius market timer.
For our last section, let's talk about what not to do. Because honestly, avoiding the big mistakes is just as important as picking the right strategy. This is how you stay on track.
First up, watch out for fees. They are like termites, quietly eating away at your money. A 1% fee might not sound like a lot, right? Wrong. Over a lifetime of investing, a seemingly small fee like that can devour nearly a third of your potential earnings. It's that compounding effect but working against you. That's why those low-cost index funds are such a game changer.
So here are the big 3 traps. Number 1 is making decisions based on fear or greed. That's how people end up buying at the top of a bubble and panic selling at the bottom. The second, as we just saw, is getting eaten alive by fees. And third is freaking out over every scary headline in the news. Short-term noise is not a long-term plan.
This quote really says it all. It's the perfect antidote to all those mistakes. Look, winning at investing isn't about being a genius who can predict the future. Nobody can do that consistently. It's simply about being in the market for a long, long time and letting your money do the work through all the ups and downs.
And if you're still worried about those market crashes, here's an incredible statistic that should help you sleep at night. Over its entire history, the S&P 500 has never lost money over any 20-year period. Not once, 0% of the time. It just goes to show you that if you can stay patient, the short-term bumps really do smooth out over the long run.
So let's end by reframing the whole idea of risk. The real danger isn't that the market might have a bad year. The true risk is sitting on the sidelines, doing nothing, while inflation eats away at your savings and you miss out on decades of that incredible compound growth. We've given you the roadmap, we've given you the tools. So the only question left is, what's your first step?